So I have a question for you. When was the last time you learned something new or did something for the first time at your own will? And nope, your recent company workshop didn't count. Can't quite recall. This is a sign that you need to invest in yourself again. Yes, yourself. You see, to me, wealth is an accumulation of good decisions, not just financial ones. Like it or not, the first step to building wealth is to invest in yourself. And the truth is, nobody's going to do this for you, whether you are rich or poor. Maybe when you are rich. Well, anyway, like what Warren Buffett, the greatest investor of our time, has been known for the quote, by far the best investment you can make is in yourself.
I invest as much in myself as you can. I mean, you're your own biggest asset.
Basically, no action equals to no growth. That applies to building your wealth too. And the good news is, it's really not as daunting as it sounds. So in this video, I will be sharing with you 3 underrated non-financial ways that you probably knew internally but never acted on them for you to get started. I've implemented each and one of them over the years, in which some of them you can even start doing today as long as you're willing to take action.
Do it!
Let's begin with the first one. Expand your network through online communities. Yes, social media platforms have a lot of power and the ability to reach anyone at any given point of time. They also, unfortunately, come with a lot of noise, which is why today we have online communities, and trust me, if you are in the right one, they function much more than a support channel. In fact, you are probably part of an online community or two already as we speak, but in case you aren't familiar with online communities, they are essentially a digital space where people come together over common interests and experiences, mutual goals and actions, or a shared purpose. Some of the popular platforms are like Discord, Facebook groups, Telegram groups, Reddit and Loyal Forum, etc. So why do I find online communities interesting? Well, it is essentially helpful to join these communities when you are exploring a new topic and need some guidance on it. For example, back when I just started my investing journey, I joined the FIRE and Investing Community Malaysia Facebook group, and in there, I'm able to mingle with fellow investors and personal finance community. Or on Loyal Forum, the stock exchange sub-forum is where I learn all the basics of stock investing and also where I learned how to open a CMB Singapore and Interactive Brokers account. I mean, the list just goes on. I would go on for hours, but I believe you get my point. You could start today by heading to your preferred platform and search for a group that shares similar interests to yours, from property investment to tech and entrepreneurship and startups and so many more. Most of the members in these groups share common values and can probably link you to other connections, and chances are they could even help you get an interesting job or side hustle opportunities, or to meet your business co-founder. Who knows what can happen, right? But don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you should have an agenda for every person you meet online. As a new member of any community, just focus on being genuine and curious about others. People can easily tell if you're being genuine or not. So instead of just joining for the sake of benefits, try to provide some value back to the community by sharing your experience and how you would do something differently or maybe better, and asking questions politely, or just being a nice person and be friendly to other people. Basically, be kind. It's free. Speaking of which, if you are looking to get started on this, I have also created a Discord server for this exact purpose, where you can chat with like-minded people with interest in investment and personal finances, or just literally anything: stock brokerage, exchanging investment ideas, choosing the right credit cards, sharing reading materials, news alerts, etc. Or just ask for advice or guidance for anything you have in mind. Don't worry, we are all nice people. We don't bite. But anyways, we have just started and the server is still growing, and there will only be more topics as the community grows. So feel free to join now if you don't want to miss out on this cool networking opportunity. I'll put the links to it down in the description box below, as well as in the pinned comment. Next, invest in your personal health. I know, for those of you in your 20s or 30s, this might not be your priority, or the thought of it alone might scare you. But it is precisely why you are still in your 20s or 30s, you should start establishing these habits early, as good health can greatly reduce future healthcare costs, allowing you to do things that matter more. I kid you not, just an annual medical checkup or a simple 10 to 15 minutes movement daily can make a huge difference in your years to come. Here's my personal health story. Back in 2016 during my uni days, I wanted to lose weight fast because I was tired of being overweight and it just consumed my confidence from within. So I started with a crash diet where I ate less than 1000 calories a day, and on top of that, I ran on a treadmill for at least 30 minutes daily. The results, I lost 21 kilos in 3 months. Sounds like a success, right? Well, yes and no. Because after that, my body felt extremely weak after 3 months, and even on a hot day, I felt cold. I even had to put on a jacket. Yeah, in the hot Malaysian weather. Something is clearly not right. Not too long later, I resorted to revenge eating, and the next thing I know, I gained back more than 25 kilos within the next few months. And a few years down the road, I gave this dieting challenge another go by trying out the keto diet. This time around, it was more quote-unquote successful as I managed to lose about 15 kilos in 6 months. That diet turned out to be easier to implement as I can still enjoy all the proteins that I like, just without the carbohydrates like rice, noodle, bread, etc. or just anything starchy. But as time went by with the COVID-19 lockdowns, paired with my limited knowledge of the diet and a tight working schedule, plus a lack of proper exercises, I once again went off track and went back to square one. I started consuming more carbs and unhealthy food back into my diet again. Yeah, I hated myself so much for that. Fast forward to June 2022, I realized I could no longer do this alone. Just having the lingering thoughts of feeling fat and unhealthy is subconsciously taking a toll on both my physical and mental health. This was my sign to start taking my health seriously. So I took the plunge and invested in a personal trainer to coach me. And today, as we speak, I have 2 sessions per week with him. And not gonna lie, it's not the cheapest thing out there, but the knowledge gain is mine to keep for life, and the advantage of a healthier body cannot be described with words, and that was one of the best investments I've ever made. Now of course, I totally understand that not everyone have the luxury of investing into a personal trainer. Perhaps you can try investing your time to learn all the proper knowledge from your friends or online videos, or just join some gym classes in your area. They are all pretty affordable and would cost you a fraction of what you would pay a personal trainer. But anyways, you get my point. It's totally worth it. Trust me on this one. The last thing I want to emphasize is to make time for your passions or personal interests outside of your 9 to 6 job deliberately. And by passion, it need not be a 4 to 5 figure profit earning side hustle. It could be activities or hobbies that you genuinely love doing. Why? Hobbies are powerful because they send your brain the message that you are more than just your job. And carving out time for activities you enjoy is an easy way to improve your mental health and overall emotional well-being. I'm sure you must be thinking, but Ziet, where got time lah? Work already so busy. Well, yes, I can't deny that we are always feeling like we are always pressed for time, that there's not enough time in the day, or that we are just all working more than ever. But is that really the case? Or are you just not prioritizing the right things? The research on the history of working hours presented by Our World in Data shows that in the 19th century, people all across the world used to work extremely long hours, but in the last 150 years, working hours have decreased substantially, particularly in today's richest countries. So why do we still feel like there's no time? Well, that's because busyness is now seen as a byproduct of the digital age. Our 24/7 connected culture is blurring the line between life and work, promoting multitasking and never turning off. We all tend to see business as a badge of honor and trendy status symbol, or the glorification of busy to show our importance, value, or self-worth in our fast-paced society. For example, when your friends ask you, "How are you doing?" I'm pretty sure you say you are busy these days. Or when your colleagues ask, "How's your day?" you will also say that you are very busy lah, even though you literally have just one meeting for the day and have to work on a simple Excel file. Well, if you keep that mindset, I've got bad news for you. You will just be stuck in the rat race forever. I'm saying this to provide you with a reminder so that you can be aware of your busyness. Take time to understand the root causes and make the needed changes so that you can also make time to do the things you enjoy for a better or more fulfilling life. It may sound counterproductive to make time for your hobbies, especially when you're building your career. But by learning and indulging in interests, old and new, you are increasing knowledge and skills, which may even lead you to taking on greater challenges in your work life too. For instance, despite being a full-time business analyst on my day job, I also expand my interest in making finance and investment videos on this YouTube channel as my side hustle. And if you notice that little Gundam model back there, I used to spend hours and days building each Gundam model back then, and that was when I learned how to be intricate and pay attention to detail, because any mistakes while building this fragile little plastic model will mean breaking it. And with that, it brought out the artistic side of me, which probably would have translated into this channel, be it through my video edits or my thumbnail. You never know, right? To me, having a creative outlet reminds me that I'm more than just my job, and I could cultivate a sense of purpose in my life. And even though creating 2 videos a week is anything but easy, I still enjoy learning and meeting new people, working with my team members, and at the same time, I get to improve my knowledge and get better at my job. Safe to say, you can put me in a room with a bunch of 50-year-old directors and I will have no problem talking to them about what's happening in the world. To me, it's kind of fun to see the look on their faces when they know that this 27-year-old bugger knows how the bond or reverse repo market works. Yeah, I personally find fulfillment in that. What about you? So I definitely recommend you to take time and really think about this, because if you don't actively choose what to do with your free time, then ultimately someone else would, such as the company that is employing you right now, as they will continue to squeeze out more time from you. So I hope by watching this video you would have realized a thing or two and start thinking about how you can take charge of your time and invest in things that matter to you and your future. Investing really doesn't just involve money, because your time is also just another form of currency that you trade on a regular basis. And something to note, self-investments can take time, but what matters is that you show up every day and do something about it consistently. Growth will never happen on its own, and goals will never be fully realized if you refuse to invest in yourself. Opportunities will rarely present themselves at your doorsteps if you are never prepared or can't be bothered to make the first move. Alright, I thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.